Ziryab.
Welcome to Ziryab Productions. This is Moorusic. We mix short stories based on the golden years of the Moors and instrumental hip-hop beats.
In the golden light of Al-Andalus, during the flourishing golden age of the Moors, the streets of Córdoba hummed with life. The air was thick with the scent of spices, blooming jasmine, and the distant notes of musicians playing lutes and flutes. Amidst this vibrant tapestry of culture, there stood a small apothecary, El Jardín de Sabiduría, owned by a young Moor named Tariq. Tariq was a dedicated herbalist known for his deep knowledge of medicinal plants and their healing properties. His dark, curly hair and warm smile made him a familiar face in the market, as he served both the rich and the poor with the same kindness. His little shop was a refuge for those in need of remedies, advice, or simply a friendly chat. One sunny afternoon, as Tariq arranged freshly dried herbs on the shelves, the door chimed softly, and in walked a woman named Layla. She was striking, with long, flowing black hair and deep brown eyes that sparkled with intelligence. Layla had recently moved to Córdoba, seeking solace after a difficult separation from her husband, who had become increasingly possessive and volatile. "Welcome to El Jardín de Sabiduría," Tariq greeted her with a smile. "How may I assist you today?" "I need something for anxiety," she replied, her voice trembling slightly. "I've been feeling overwhelmed." Tariq listened intently as Layla spoke, sensing the weight of her words. As she explained her situation, he realized that her ex-husband, a once charming man, had turned into a shadow looming over her life. Despite the divorce, he had been persistent in trying to control her, showing up uninvited and sending unsettling messages. "I have just the thing," Tariq said gently, reaching for a small vial filled with a lavender-infused oil. "This will help soothe your mind and spirit. And perhaps, it's time for some new beginnings." As Layla took the vial, their hands brushed slightly, sending an unexpected spark between them. They exchanged shy smiles, and an unspoken connection began to form, rooted in shared experiences of struggle and resilience. Over the following weeks, Layla visited Tariq often, not just for remedies but for the warmth of his presence. They shared stories of their pasts, their dreams, and their hopes for the future. Tariq admired Layla's strength, while she found comfort in his gentle wisdom. It was a friendship that blossomed into something more, though unacknowledged, as both were wary of the shadows they carried. But the peace they had found together was soon threatened. Layla's ex-husband, enraged by her newfound independence, began to lurk around the market, casting a dark shadow over her life once more. He would stand outside the apothecary, watching, waiting, and his presence filled Layla with dread. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Layla rushed into Tariq's shop, her breath quickened with fear. "He's here," she whispered, her eyes wide. "I saw him outside." Tariq's heart raced. He knew he had to protect her. "Stay here," he urged, stepping outside. He found Layla's ex-husband leaning against a nearby wall, a menacing look in his eyes. "You need to leave her alone," Tariq said firmly, standing tall despite the tremor in his voice. "She deserves to live freely without fear." The man scoffed, stepping closer, his anger palpable. "Stay out of this, Moor. She's mine." Tariq's resolve hardened. "Not anymore. Layla has chosen her path, and you have no right to interfere." The confrontation escalated, but Tariq stood his ground, fueled by the need to protect the woman who had become so important to him. In that moment, he felt a strength he didn't know he possessed. The tension in the air crackled like a storm, and finally, the ex-husband, realizing he was outmatched, retreated into the shadows, leaving behind a lingering threat. When Tariq returned inside, Layla was waiting, tears glistening in her eyes. "You stood up for me," she whispered, her voice thick with gratitude. "I would do it again," he replied softly, taking her hands in his. "You deserve to be free." In that moment, the bond between them deepened, transcending the fear and pain of the past. As they stood together, the world outside seemed to fade away. With courage in her heart and Tariq by her side, Layla felt a new chapter beginning, one where she could reclaim her life and embrace the love that was blossoming between them. Under the warm Andalusian stars.
Ziryab.
Welcome to Ziryab